Well, hello everybody. It's Danny back from and Wanda back from Pecan Grove. I went out hunting this morning, and I was able to make a shot and was able to retrieve the animal. It has really been a blessing to be able to do this. I'm not going to be doing a how-to video on how to butcher and skin and all that because I already have that on Deepsouth Homestead. You can go watch that. It's on Patreon also. But what we are going to be doing is after I let it hang in the cooler for a while, we are going to be showing you how to make deer bacon. That is going to be one of the things that we are going to be showing you how to do with this. So because of rules and regulations on YouTube, they've already pulled so many of my videos. I don't want to have them pull this one down. So guys, I'm excited. We're able to harvest and retrieve a deer here from Pecan Grove. So stay with us and watch the videos in the future, and you'll be able to watch us make our deer bacon. Big old deer.
Yeah, I think he's kind of cold. Don't you think he's a little cold?
He is frozen almost. That cooler.
Is it too cold to cut?
No. Just right to cut.
Okay.
Woo. Good morning, everybody. Danny and Wanda back from Pecan Grove on a nice cold morning in the 20s outside. It feels like it's in the 20s in here. I know I had a thermometer in here somewhere. I know I did somewhere. What I did with it. But it's cold in here.
It was 29 at 7 o'clock this morning.
Yeah, that was after the sun done come up.
So I don't know what the lowest temperature, we hadn't looked yet.
I ain't looked to see what the lowest temperature was all night. I know everything's covered up in ice. Ice on all the roofs, ice on the windows. Heavy frost in the fields, no wind whatsoever. It laid last night, thank the good Lord above, and everything just froze over.
So it's we didn't have chicken waters or rabbit, none of
The
that.
chicken water wasn't froze. Of course, it's on the south side of the barn.
The rabbits were okay.
Yeah, everything seems to be okay. We just went to Deepsouth to get the deer. I checked over there. We didn't have no pipe problems over there or nothing. All that seemed to be okay.
So the wind was not what they predicted. If the wind had been, it would have been way colder.
Now the wind did blow when the front first came in, and we had some pretty good chill factors right at the beginning, but it laid and it quit blowing. Okay, we got the deer here. Now we're going to start breaking this thing down. Now we're not going to be cutting any steaks or any roast or anything like that out of this deer. This deer right here was for one reason and one reason only, and that is I have never tried deer bacon. So the whole deer is going to be ground. I'm not saving any part of it except the back straps, and I'm going to try to make bacon out of the back straps. I'm going to see how it goes. There's two ways to do it. I'm going to be curing the back straps just like I do the other bacon that I'm going to make out of it. It may be a total flop. I may ruin the whole deer. I don't know. Never done this for my own personal self anymore. Before. But I like the idea of having venison bacon. There's lots of people on YouTube who's done it, so it's evidently successful. Can be successfully done. Backstrap, once cured, will have to be cut very thin and then cooked in bacon grease when you do it, so that it'll be probably cooked crispy, and which is the way I like bacon anyway. I'm gonna cut these back feet off of here. I hung this deer a little bit different than I usually do. I left the feet on it simply because we have a purpose for them down the road. I'm gonna try to save a few feet. But what I'm gonna do right now is I'm just gonna cut that off. I'm gonna lay them over here to the side somewhere. And then we'll clean the table off once I get this. Trying not to let my sawzall hit the table. I'm letting it cut longer than it probably should.
So y'all will see deer feet in a video in the future, sometime in 2025, right?
Sometime in 2025, I'm hoping that they will. Now this ain't nothing but bone fragments right here, so I'm gonna get all this off the table.
You don't want that in your meat.
No, you do not want that in your meat.
If you clean as you go, it makes life a lot easier lots of times.
Yes. I'm very adamant about that. Now, what we do have this year, we have something we've never had before. I actually saw this online. These are what you call single-use cutting boards.
From Hardcore Carnivore.
Yeah, I actually got them through Academy. I think that's how we got them, wasn't it? Through
Academy? But now I think Jack's Plant and Patio carries Hardcore Carnivore stuff. Now, whether they have these cutting boards, we didn't go in there and look. We just ordered.
We just ordered because it...
they do carry, I know, the seasonings and stuff, so they may carry these.
It's quite possible.
But these are the large ones now, 24 by 18.
Yeah, you can get it. Most of them were very small we were looking at. And I told Wanda, I said, I do not want those. I want these right here. Now these...
you got two.
Oh, I do have two, don't I? These have... I don't know why you have the square inch...
If people are cutting meat and they lay it on it,
they're cubing up their steaks and stuff.
They want to make it uniform pieces.
Yeah, I guess that makes.
But what is it made out of?
It's made out of some kind of hard plastic.
So that when you cut, you're not cutting into your tables. You stop with that.
Yeah.
That's what we wanted, because we lay down your wrapping paper, and you can still cut through the wrapping paper pretty easy.
Yeah, the wrapping paper, the knives is going through it, still cutting into the wood here. Hopefully in the near future, we're going to get a measurement on this. We're going to get some kind of countertop to go on it. But I don't guess it matters which side of this you use.
You're not worried about it, so.
I'm anxious to see how that's going to work. We didn't film me actually skinning the deer or anything like that. I actually ordered.
And have on order.
I ordered the 10-inch Victorinox breaking knife. I ordered this from the Bearded Butcher. Now, you can get them on Amazon or anywhere else, but I ordered it from the Bearded Butcher.
That is a YouTube channel. That's
a YouTube channel, yes. They actually own a meat processing plant. They have their thing on the back of it right here. Because I knew when I ordered from them that theirs was the original Victorinox from Switzerland. And then I ordered the Kydex. And then the only place I could find the Kydex was through the Bearded Butcher. I didn't really find it on Amazon. On Amazon, all they had was the leather ones that I was looking at. I used this to skin that deer with, and I loved it so much because I'm telling you, just as fast as I could go around that animal, the hide just came right off of it. I told Wanda, I said, go back in there right now and order me the 6-inch Victorinox with the semi-flexible blade with the curve in it, not the straight one, but one with the curve in it. And guys, these things are well worth what you pay for them now. I'm going to tell you. I think that, to me they are. Now they may not be to some people, but to me they are. But what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get me, I'm not going to put the sheet on me because I don't really need it. I'm going to go ahead and get me a tub, or let me say not a tub, but a pan here. I'm going to get me a pan set right here. And as I cut the meat off of this animal, I'm going to be putting it in there. Now this one, I don't save the fat off of the deer just simply because most fat at this time of the year is acorn fat, and acorn fat has a tendency to be bitter, so I don't really care much about the fat, so I won't be saving any of the fat off of the animal. Now to do this animal is really not hard at all. Deer are really very simple creatures to do. Now, one thing I will say is that when you're right in here, you have to be very, very careful because the tenderloin of the deer lies right up in here, and you don't want to be cutting into your tenderloin. Now there is some fat up in here, and this is what we don't want to keep. Now this is on a hog, you would be keeping this because this is your leaf lard. It's laying all up in here, but on a deer, I'm not crazy about keeping it on a deer. Let me see if I'm trying to not cut into my tenderloin there. This knife is like a razor blade. And plus in this fat is a lot of glands and kernels and stuff like that that you don't want that taste in your meat anyway. So I'm trying to if I can get this started. I probably should have pulled all this out of the deer when it was still warm. Would have been a lot simpler because it's stuck now. Ooh, my fingers are already frozen. But that's all just fat in there. I'm gonna try to do a little bit better right here. Just if I can get a little bit of that out of there, away from that. There we go. Now, these are your two tenderloins that lays up in here. Let me get a little bit of that right there out of the way. These are really quite easy to take out of an animal when they're actually warm. It's really quite easy to take out. Now, it's a little bit more to it when you're taking them out once they've been hanging. This one's been hanging now for...
This is the third day.
No, it's more than 3.
Day. Fourth day.
Yeah, this is the fourth day that this one was hanging. If I can get this, let's see if I can get, I want to get a hold to this. I don't want to mess it up. This lies right along the inside edge of that backbone right there. And this baby is really, really chilled.
So is this something we're making bacon out of, or you're just chopping it up?
No, I was just trying to show the people. I'm not going.
You're just being easy because.
Yeah, I'm just being easy because this thing will pull right out of there. If you can get a hold to it just right, it'll strip right out. My hands are honestly frozen.
Mine too.
If I can get a hold to it, hold on. I'll see if I can get a hold to this. See if I can. There we go. There we go.
There you go. You got it going.
I was trying to get it where I wouldn't do any damage to it, but there we are.
All right, there's one on the other side just like
that. Yeah, there's one on the other side just like that. Now this really, this is what you call the prime cut of meat on a deer.
And we may save that and just let me throw it in a crock pot and throw some gravy in it or something.
We might, yeah, we might.
Those two.
And what you can do is you can come over here and you can lay this thing down.
And trim it up.
You can trim it up. Like you've got this layer of fat right here on it. You really don't want that on there. I mean, I'm going to watch this knife and not cut too much off of it. You really don't want that on there. I'm trying to
I'd use it like 2 little roasts in a crock pot. I got a mini crock pot they fit in just perfect. And there's a gland.
There's a gland right there. You see that? That's what I'm telling you. You don't want to be.
You got to be careful because you don't want those glands.
You don't want all that in your prime cuts. Trying to be real easy with that. Get that off of there. Now there is a little strip right there that.
And there's a gland right there. You see it at the end of your knife?
Yeah. I'm trying to
get that out of there.
Trying to get that one, get a hold of that little strip of fat right there. Let's just get that gland out right there. There we go.
There we go.
Now.
See how pretty that is?
Actually, you got a little strip of meat right here that you can take off of that.
And it can go in your
Go over there. There you go. Perfect tenderloin right there, guys.
×2.
×2 in the animal.
Put in a crock pot so we have supper tonight.
All right. I've got to go hook some water up to this building right now because it's below freezing last night and I didn't want nothing to freeze. And I got to plug this hot water heater up over here because my hands are so cold right now.
Now we're going to go ahead and he's going to be cutting up, and I'm not going to film everything. He's just going to be cutting.
I'm basically just going to be, I mean, I'll show you. I mean, I'm going to be coming in here, you know, like this right here. I'll come in, you find that right there. I'll come in here, I'll run around this thing, you know, and I'll just do this right here. I'll throw it over there.
And then we'll chop it into small pieces to grind.
I'll come right here like this. I'll come down through here and whack that right there. I'll just run around this rib cage. That'll all be cut into small pieces. I'll come through here, I'll take a knife and I'll run around this rib cage like this right here, and I'll cut the whole brisket off right here. I'll go ahead and cut the front shoulders off.
Cut the hinds.
I'll cut the hindquarters. I'll come right through right here, cut the hindquarters off. Once I take this other tenderloin out, now that I know Miss Wanda wants it, get rid of this fat here. We'll create this little thing here to put our scraps in. And we'll get this thing cleaned up. But right now, I gotta go get some water turned on and get some heat going here for my fingers because they are numb.
So the next video will show how to make the bacon. This one's just getting ready for it.
Yes.
And you're going to...
Cutting a deer up is nothing to it. It don't matter how you do this process. You can be the world's worst cutter-upper, if you want to call it, if that's a word. And it won't matter because you're going to cut it up in little pieces about this big.
And then you run it through a grinder.
You're going to run it through a grinder like so over there. And you're going to grind it twice.
So, the process is coming up next video.
Next video, we're going to show you how it's done.